let's run through our positions and plan and our indicators just one last time, okay? Since we're on crypto right now, let's go to our crypto charts, okay? So crypto, again, ETH and Bitcoin, I'm really monitoring that ETH to gold and Bitcoin to gold ratios. I'm going to buy when ETH to gold ratio gets to this red line. You can copy this red line. This red line goes all the way back to 2020. It's the 2020 uptrend, okay, from the 2020 lows, from the COVID lows. It's the uptrend for most of the year. You connect those points, you connect that trend line, and it magically, coincidentally, or whatever you want to call it, touched right here on the June lows. Okay, I think this is a level where I do think institutions are looking at this. Okay, I think they are making decisions, long-term decisions based on this chart. So we will as well. We follow where the money goes. So when it touches this line, definitely getting an ETH. Also, same thing with Bitcoin. Here, it's a little bit further, but if it gets there, I'm buying. Okay. What else is in our plan? Yes, the dollar. Right now, everything is centered around the dollar. The dollar is approaching its 18-day moving average. The euro, okay, has it lost it? Oh, it did lose it earlier today, but I think it's actually regained it. 101,526. So, okay, so right now it's above the 18-day moving average. Before I started the high noon highlights, it was before. If this starts going down and if this starts closing down below the 18-day moving average and going down, expect a lot more volatility, especially from Europe. I think if this goes down, okay, if this starts going down, we may actually see certain patterns where during the overnight and morning markets, we go down, but then after Europe closes, the market starts drifting up again, okay? We may see that if the euro starts dropping really hard, okay? So keep an eye on this, okay? It's one of our 4 indicators. Remember, the dollar, the euro, junk bonds AD, the New York high low, and also our ZF, our 5-year treasury note futures, okay? So that's part of our indicators, all right? Speaking of indicators, speaking of ZF, let's just take a look at the ZF. If this starts going down, dash to cash. If this goes up, cash is trash, all right? Down, dash for cash, dollar will go up, risk off. This goes up, cash is trash, risk on, okay? I think this is going to be very telling, all right? What else? The other positions that I opened today, I opened IWM today. So again, my plan for IWM, I just legged into this, guys, okay? Legging in. I'm a little bit down on this trade right now already. How down am I? I'm down already. So, but it was super small. I only bought like a couple spreads. I am planning on, just to keep things in perspective, I'm probably going to buy like 50 to 100 of these different spreads. Right now, I'm in the single digits still. So it's super small position. I'm going to leg in. I'm going to leg in more of these once it gets over 190, 191. That's when I'll start buying more. Hopefully, the November contracts will be a little bit cheaper then. So I am in these IWMs, okay? When it comes to SPY, all right, and the rest of the indices, I think probably about around the time where IWM gets to 191 or so, most likely the ES and other indices will be on their downtrend line. Okay, so again, if it hits this, I'm going to start buying SPY puts 3 to 6 months out right here. Okay, so that's around 42.30, 42.40. That's where I'm buying 3 to 6 month put verticals. I'll try to see what strikes I choose, but of course I won't know until we get there, and I'll let you guys know what I choose. If we close over 4,300 for 2 or 3 days, that means it's over. Okay, then I'm out. I'm out of all those puts. Okay, so that's the plan. So that plan hasn't changed on SPY or on the S&P 500. for buying SPY, long-term buys, again, I'm going to start scaling in when we get to that 360 zone. I'm going to save most of my share buying for 342. But if SPY goes under 340, I'm going to buy 1 year in the money calls to supplement that position. Okay, so that is my plan for the indices. All right, TLT, I changed my plan in that. I told you guys that I'd be leaning into that trade. I will not be leaning into that trade just because of what I saw on TNX yesterday. I will be waiting a little bit lower. I was going to get a little bit aggressive in buying calls around the 115 zone. I've lowered that. I'm going to start buying maybe around the 113 zone, 112, 113, and I'm going to keep the position very small. All right. Later on, I do think that TLT is going to be a short, but I'm going to start shorting probably a little bit higher, around the 130, 135 zone. I'm going to short. Okay. But if it goes down, I may venture into a long, and again, that just comes from our copper to gold ratio that we have. Copper to gold has been a very good indicator of where the 10-year Treasury will go. It's still coming down. So I do think that the 10-year Treasury, maybe after some rounds of volatility, it may come down to. Bonds move a little bit slower. See, bonds, sometimes it takes a while for it to notice these things. Like, for example, when the copper gold ratio went up, I mean, for TNX, for TNX to get to those levels, it took like what, March till April, it took March of 2021 to April. So it took like 7-8 months. Actually, no, more than a year for it to get caught up. So it's not unusual for bonds to take a lot longer to move. Okay. So again, that is why I want to be a little bit more patient on my TLT trade. All right. So that's TLT. Some of the stocks we're looking at, HUT. I still have the alert at 165. From 165 to 150, I am a buyer. Ford, I am a buyer. Once we get lower, I still think we got one more big drawdown left in the year. So that's why I'm trying to be patient, although I am feeling that FOMO like everybody else. But $13, I ended at $12.95, $12.50, $13. That seems like a good level to enter. And I will scale in with shares at that point. I might even buy some leaps as well too. Okay. Some of the other positions that we're in, DIA. DIA, yep, still in the October puts, still in the 300, 290. I have until October for these. I'm still in the same EWT Taiwan puts for December. All right, that's the 49.40. I'm still in the FEZ put spreads for November. That's the 32.27 put verticals. Although if the euro drops under this 18-day moving average, holds that for 3 days, and FEZ keeps going up during those 3 days, after that third day, at the end of that third day, I may leg into some more puts on FEZ. Okay? Again, let me repeat that because that was a mouthful. 3 days. If the Euro USD closes for 3 days under its 18-day moving average, and at the same time FEZ keeps going up, at the end of that third day, I will scale into some more FEZ puts. Okay? So that's FEZ. All right. I'm still in. I went over IWM already. UVXY. I'm still in UVXY. I still think that we're going to see an outsized VIX move just because all these institutional shares were bought about a month or two ago, and I think they are under hedged. And when all of them want to hedge all at the same time, I think we're going to see a big VIX spike. So again, 1424s, and I'm also long the 1520s on the call side. Okay. So that's it. That's the plan. The indicators. And my current positions. Boom. Checkmate trading, baby. All right. Any questions, comments, rude remarks? This is your time.